Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, this is my buddy Mike Wiggins. He's been on the show not once, not twice, but now the third time. And you know why? Because he's my friend, and he likes to talk, and he likes to raise hell about his case. And I said, Mike, you can stop by any time. Last time we were here, Mike, there was some things. You said you were nervous. Shouldn't be nervous. But you said that there were some things that you forgot to talk about, that you wanted to talk about, and that includes the names. We have all the names of the bad people we're going to say today. But anyway, what are some of the things you wanted to add to your story? Again, for background, this is the guy who painted the side of his house up in Claremont County.
Put it on the back wall.
Put on the back wall, telling his neighbors off because he had enough of them. Of course, he repainted it, but he's gotten a lot. Google Mike Wiggins and you'll hear the story, but go ahead.
Or put it on the wall here, you'll see the house.
Yep.
Well, what I didn't get out the last time, and I apologize because I didn't have the best teachers, but I do now.
You don't need to apologize. Be yourself. What do you want to say about it?
The last time I told you what all they did to me for a 4th-degree misdemeanor, okay, I had to be house arrest. Well, during that house arrest, I went in front of the judge, and they said I smelled like marijuana, which I have a card from a doctor. And so
you were allowed to smell like marijuana.
Well,
Go
I
ahead.
didn't know. I thought,
Go ahead.
I mean, so, and I take my medicine. To me is like you all with your coffee. Without it, you're crazy. Without mine, I'm hyper as a bad girl in church. But the main thing I wanted to get off is when they put me on the house arrest. Okay, I had to go in front of this probation officer because I smelled like weed, and I had to piss in front of him every week. So he said my urine had alcohol in it, and I said, I'll go give blood. He goes, no, you better tell me right now. He goes, because I'm going to tape your name on this pee, and I'm going to write your name, and I'm sending it to the lab. I said, send it. So we went in front of the judge that morning, and he told her, and they put an ankle bracelet to tell him where I'm at, and they put another ankle bracelet to say if I got alcohol. Okay, 4 or 5 days later, when I go back to pee in front of this kid again, he goes, you need to talk to your lawyer. And I said, why? He goes, well, your test came back. It's negative. You know what I mean? So why ain't the bracelets being taken off of? You know what I mean? It's actually called 8th Amendment. If you're charged for something that you didn't even do, that's illegal. So they did that to me. So, so I, slow down.
Well, I can only tell you this. The rules that they put on people for house arrest and the ankle bracelet, some of it, man, it's unbelievable. It's like getting the system. Now let's go to the name of the list. We haven't sued Chief Paul Brocksterman of Pierce Township yet, but Alan Statman is your attorney, and you have filed for all the hell they've put you through and the cases for defamation. Jennifer Taylor. Now, who's Jennifer Taylor in our story?
She's the one that started this in the beginning. She's the one that said that well, with the police and the conspiracy, they put cameras 6, 7, 8 feet facing my property, and she's saying she's protecting hers. If you're facing my property 80 feet and you got 50 acres that way, how are you protecting your property at all?
Hey, I can sum Jennifer Taylor up. She's a Karen.
So here's what we did so they could get me to stop shooting and to come after me because, quote, I'm from Kentucky. So they put these cameras, me, my wife, and 2 friends. We go deer hunting. She's in the cabin. She can see me in the tree stand. She hears me shoot this deer with an arrow. She's seen it before I did. So
are you as good as Robin Hood? Could you split an arrow?
No.
All right.
Okay. So we come out of the woods. We put our gear up in the cabin. We wait till it's dark, because that's what you're supposed to do when you shoot a deer with a bow. You got to let them hemorrhage to death. Or they got to bleed to death. So we go start tracking at dark. Well, I know the property line. No survey signs, or no survey, no signs or nothing. So me and my wife has an app on her phone, but we're going to the tree stand that I was hunting in, and then we're going to follow the blood. Well, the other 2 guys cross over on her property. So they wake me up and tell me I was on their property. They got a picture and everything. And I said, well, wait, let's back up. How about I take you officers up and show you where I shot the deer, follow the blood trail, and then you can talk to the two gentlemen that was with me. Nope, we don't need to do that. She's 95% sure that picture is you.
Bottom line is you got charged with trespassing.
4th degree misdemeanor trespassing. I had to stay on house arrest.
Chasing a deer.
I had to stay on house arrest. I wasn't allowed to go work in my yard. Then,
Now, who's Linda Franklin?
Linda Franklin, she's probably one of Jennifer Taylor's friends. These are all neighbors.
Robin Willis.
Okay, Robin Willis is across the
So
street.
Robin is a man.
Yeah.
What kind of a man has a female name?
Okay. Well, Robin Willis. No, I apologize.
Like Tracy
that's
Jones.
The neighbor that's another neighbor up the street.
All right.
That says
so
I
I've just
don't
defamed
like me
him.
shooting. Yeah.
Now, Jeremiah Badell.
Jeremiah Badell says I should be locked up. I'm psycho and everything else, and I show all the signs of it. But I don't know how many years he went to law school or to be a doctor or anything. So I took that and I went to a psychiatrist. I went 5 visits. Never knew the man at all, St. Elizabeth. He said,
What did he diagnose you with?
well, here's his words. Which I told.
Did he
I had
just
to
say
speak
you're
to him.
batshit crazy?
No, he had to talk to me first. I told him, I said, I'm not going to tear up nobody's property. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. Because if I do, that makes my mother and father look like they raised some kind of animal. And I owe the respect to my parents not to do anything like that.
Are they still with us?
No.
Okay.
No, they're not with us. So
What about Rodney Henry?
Rodney Henley, yeah, that's the one that said that I need to go see a psychiatrist.
And the one that we really dislike is the trustee of Pierce Township,
Yeah,
Pete Campelos.
Now he is a trustee, he lives 4 doors up from me. He called the police on me because I turned around on an easement in front of his house. He tells the officer, you know who this is. I'm going to sock it to him. I want everything done by the book.
I know how that feels.
And he goes, he's in my sights. I'm going to do everything I can with my power as a town trustee and get that man.
Abuse of power.
So now
Lawfare.
Now you know why the chief and all of them put the cameras. So
Right.
if Mike walks by, we got him. We'll take it from there. Okay. A 4th degree misdemeanor, stepping on the back end of a corner, 50 acres with no signs, no survey. I'm
The
on
world
house
we
arrest.
live in.
I'm on house arrest. I can't leave my house, can't go in the yard or nothing for 4 months. Now, my wife is working at my pawn shop in Florence, Stringtown, Georgia. We have guns and everything.
Shop at
She
Stringtown
can't-
Pawn Shop in
She
Florence.
shouldn't be working in there by herself. So they keep me there, and unless I plead guilty, which I didn't. So then we go back to court, and she keeps the ankle bracelets on, everything, even though the tests come back negative. We're going to either put you
Ankle
in jail.
bracelet for somebody who hasn't hurt anybody.
We're going to put you in jail unless you stay at your house in Florence, your store. You can't leave the store. Now, the first time I couldn't go to my store, I had to stay in my house.
You couldn't go to
I
your
couldn't-
house?
I couldn't go to my work.
What was the logic of that?
Pedophiles can get out on work release. I couldn't leave my store.
Pedophiles should
I
be
couldn't-
killed.
My wife is at home in a $3 million house or more, I think, by herself.
It's a
You know
big
what I mean?
house.
He's talked to you all about before. He had the largest gold mine in the world. There's 200 million in gold missing there. They know we found it, and that's at $30 an ounce. So now
He's gonna give me half of it if he finds it.
Is at home by herself, and all these people know I'm not allowed to have a gun. The judge took my guns away from me, even though I own a gun store. Now I wasn't charged for a gun violation.
I know that makes
I
no
was
sense.
charged for
Nope.
trespassing on a neighbor's property, okay, on the back corner of her 50 acres.
It wasn't like you walked through her front freaking yard.
Right. But here's another very good thing.
Took a dump on her lawn.
She has been cutting my grass, thinking it was her property. My daughter.
Will they take
my
criminal
wife,
charges? I bet you they
watch
won't.
them. No, she goes to court and tells the judge, and the judge even says this. Now, wait a minute. You're going to file all these charges on him for walking here, but you're doing the neighborly thing and cutting this grass for him for 3 years. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, the truth is going to
hypocrisy.
come out. But what, if I went to a judge or a prosecutor and I said, look, this guy's bugging me to death. He's old. He shoots by my house. He does this. He's very frightening. I would be a prosecutor and a judge saying, you know what, let's get this guy. But it wasn't me. I didn't do that. I've never done nothing to this lady in 35 years. So why am I such a threat? And this is going to make you all really your ears stand up. If she's so afraid of me and she has to have escorts in the courtroom and everything else, My wife decides she wants to shoot the AK, 30-round clip. We go up.
Badass wife.
She shoots, and I said, well, wait a minute, let me shoot. We're 60 yards from the property line. She's 50 acres up there. Her dad's 200 feet there. So I said, let me shoot it. So I put a clip in. I run around 30 rounds. Now, I'm not allowed to be around this lady. I'm on probation. All of a sudden, I look over, and I'm like 30 feet. She's standing there watching us shoot. She's scared to death of me. She's telling the courts that she's frightened.
Did you consider taking the AK and shooting her?
No. Like I said, I won't do
It's a trick
that
question.
to my mom and dad.
You gave the right answer.
But, you know what I mean? If there was a war, maybe I shouldn't say this, but if there was a war,
Now,
I feel sorry for my neighbors.
well, you got a claim for defamation. You got pigs that drive them crazy. Just keep fighting and hang in there.
I did something. Okay, if you're gonna get,
We got to wrap it up. So
okay,
give us your closing remarks.
If you're gonna get mad at somebody, you don't want to break the law, but do a little sense of humor. So I built a 3 stories barn, and I got all these hogs,
I've been in the very top
and
of
I'm
it.
gonna raise them. And just think when them people are walking down their street, and it's all Smurf blue, and I got it lit up at night. So what do you think the value of all them houses are on that street now? Would you want to buy one on there? And not only that is, you give me and my wife the blues for 2 years or whatever, now you have to look at them and smell.
Can I ask you a serious question? I grew up on a farm, so I know pig shit is the worst smelling shit next to cat shit. But I got to ask you a question. Is it true that pigs, if you threw a dead body into a pigsty, they would eat the body?
100% positive, because I deer hunt and my friends deer hunt. When we shoot a deer, we don't gut it in the woods. We take it over there, we gut it, we throw it over in the pigs, and it looks like piranhas. And then, you know what I mean, after
That's
we butcher
wild.
and everything, we throw it away. Well, it's
Now, I
protein.
heard the one thing that you have to knock out is the people's teeth, because they won't eat the teeth, and they'll find the teeth in the crap. Is that true?
Well, we don't want to do nothing illegal, but no, if you're going to do something like that, you'd want to crush the teeth up, because then there's no DNA or nothing left. And get rid of the tennis shoes. They can't.
I have people out there that are accusing me of committing violence. It's such a joke. I am so tempted to give you a few names, but they would file something against me for just saying their name.
Really?
But you're saying that if I had a dead body,
Yeah, you don't want to do anything.
I know, but if I did, I should take it to your farm and he'd eat
Put
it.
it right next to the lake.
A chipper, that's a pretty good idea.
With
Chipper
barbecue.
lake.
And then when you're done, you unhook the hitch. But
I've
no,
se-
done. I don't want to give nobody any ideas like
I've watched too many Dateline. You know why I would never murder anybody?
Because you don't want to get caught.
Because they always get caught, man. They always get caught.
The ones that don't. But the main reason I'm here is I want people out there, your brother, your cousin, your uncle or whatever, your kids or whatever, don't let somebody do this that they're doing to me, to them. And it isn't about the money. They can donate it to St. Jude's.
It's the money to me and Alan Statman. We want to get a lot of money from them.
Well, I like to have part of my 60 or 70,000 I've spent for a 4th-degree misdemeanor on lawyers that have quit.
Mike, I got to ask you a question. What's your opinion, in a few words, of lawyers? Don't they suck?
No. Here's what I would love to get out. When somebody hires a lawyer, it's usually one of the worst times of their life, and it's the most frighteningest times. But the lawyers doesn't consider any of that. They get a continuous and they go on vacation, or they get a continuous because they got this schedule going. And then when you go to court, they really did nothing.
They take your money and they plead you guilty.
Sure it's just like pawn shops, police officers, and everything else. There's good ones and there's bad ones.
Yep.
But right now, I'm dealing with some really bad people, and I would like for your all's opinion. Tell me. I don't walk on water. I'm not a perfect person.
Now, when I start doing my
I
law,
just never got caught for that, but this year I've done something.
when I start doing my law-focused podcast, will you agree, along with the Brit, to be my representative of humanity on my law podcast that I'm planning on doing? I think you would be a perfect sidekick to my law show.
I do too, because I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, and I'm going to tell you, even if I don't mean to offend anybody, but sometimes
I wouldn't care if you did offend somebody. Sometimes you got to offend people. Churchill said, if you don't have any enemies, you didn't do anything. You know what? Half the people, third of the people are my friends, third of the people hate me, third of the people don't give a damn.
But you know what? Most of them probably don't even know you or me. And they're just going by what somebody said. Somebody's always got to be jealous.
They're jealous.
Well, I can't read. So I think what it is what I have and I got, which God puts all the seeds out there for the birds if anybody's willing to fly to it.
You're a holy man.
You know what I mean?
You're a believer.
No, I just think that, I think all the anger I have.
Do you read
the
no, you don't. That's right.
Do I read the Bible?
No, you
no,
don't.
but I know
all right.
a lot about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, American Jerry and Bulldog Nation, has been Eric Deters, my buddy Mike Wiggins. Third program. A fourth will probably come because he'll say, I forgot to say this.